So first off, when you're getting ready to prep your session to send to a mixer, the first thing you should do is save a copy of the session and call it Prep for Mixer. Also, go ahead and delete any tracks that aren't being used. Do not leave tracks in a session with mute on. And let me tell you, that really confuses me. When somebody sends in a mix and there's a track there with a fader up and the mute on, am I supposed to use it or not? And then I call up the client like, well, I'm not using it, the mute's on. Delete the damn thing. Come on, man. Also, make sure that you've removed all deactivated tracks. Do not leave any hidden tracks in the session if you're in a Pro Tools session or a session allows you to hide the tracks. If you just want to be sending what you want mixed. Remove all plugins from each track. The only exception for this is if there's something very specific you've done on a track, like maybe you've got the telephone sound or something like that, or maybe you played guitar into Guitar Rig. Obviously, you need to bounce it down like that. Put it back in the session, get rid of the original one. Delete all automation from the session. The only time I'd say to leave any automation in there is if there's a very specific thing going on with a panning thing that you really want, in which case you want to send that in, or if you're bouncing it down, bounce it as a stereo file. Make sure to clean up your audio. Go through, as I stated before, make sure that all the fades are taken care of, make sure there's no pops and clicks, make sure if there's any noise in between things, go ahead and clean this up. Don't leave this to the mixer. You should have everything ready to be mixed. Also, make sure to clearly name your tracks. Make it easy for me to figure out what's going on. You don't want something saying vocal 1, vocal 2, vocal 3, and maybe one's a lead vocal and one's a double. How do I know? Name the lead vocal, lead vocal. Name the double, double. With guitars, keyboards, stuff like that, be very specific. Like if one guitar is supposed to be like a main part, call it main guitar. Don't leave any ambiguity whatsoever about what I'm looking at. Don't name your tracks in all caps. Take a look at this. This is what I see right here. I can't tell quickly looking down at this thing what I'm looking at. Let me show you a couple things you should be doing. First off, you can try typing like a normal person. Check out how this is different here. You see? Look at that. Also, you can abbreviate things. So when you're going to be sending in audio files to be mixed, not as part of a DAW session, just raw audio files, make sure that your sample rate and your bit depth is the same as the session that you recorded it in. You don't want to be doing any kind of conversions. Just send in exactly what you had when you recorded it. Before you bounce these things down, take off the plugins, take off any extra effects. Also, depending on how you're going to be getting the files out of the DAW, it could either be bouncing or exporting. I think that can make a difference in what the level's going to be. I know that if you're going to be bouncing out of Pro Tools or Ableton or Logic, if your fader's down lower because that's how you set up your rough mix, I'm going to get a file that's going to be kind of quiet. It's going to be down here. If that's how you're doing it, you're bouncing it, make sure you turn that fader back up where you had it when you recorded it, or a little down. Don't slam the levels. Don't get it into red. Give me a little bit of headroom, but get it up there. Leave me at least 3 dB of headroom, but give me something to work with. Often when you're exporting from a DAW, you're going to find that in the process of exporting these files, it's going to put the name of the song, then the track name. You don't want to do that, because that means that I'm going to have to sit here and rename that. And let me show you why. Here's what it looks like in my DAW when I import that stuff. Here, check this out. This is what I see. So then I got to go do this. I got to go rename all this stuff. I either got to go through and name this in the raw files, or I got to do it within the session. Do not, under any circumstances, ever send anything to anybody where everything is called audio file. That's just terrible. So I think that's all I got to say about mix prep right now. If you got any comments, leave them. If there's anything I missed, let me know. Maybe I'll do an addendum.
Freaking out with Billy